Okay. This is gonna be a probably fairly brief, spoiler-heavy review recap of Rogue One. Rogue One came out last week, and now everyone has spoiled it, so I'm gonna spoil it. Rogue One has a team of crack rogues, sort of like a cross between the Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven, and the other rogue. They're Magnificent Seven and the other one. What's it? The Dirty Dozen. Yeah, a little bit of the Dirty Dozen. Starts off like the Dirty Dozen. Some people on the no. I was reading all the net reviews, and I'm going to clear up the net reviews on this movie because I looked into it and what's going on in it. I looked into it. Okay, mainly that's what this is going to go into because everybody's already spoiled it. Rogue One, it takes place. Takes place and ends right at just before A New Hope, by like hours or something. Just before New Hope, there was some confusion as to the different places and things that were going on and what was happening. I'll clear that up. Now that I can, there is a nod to Star Wars Rebels and a nod to the Clone Wars in it. If you catch them, that goes right by you. There's a also in the scenes that were deleted. There's also some Rogue One references in there, and then Rebels references in there. A lot of the commercial, the trailers, they cut out like a third of the stuff that was in the trailers. They also did this with Episode 7. You can go back and watch that slightly different version of Han and Chewie going, "Chewie, we're home." It's different scene than actually is in the movie. Stuff like that. There's also a different chase scene with Rey. Anyway, so Rogue One has a scene where there is a TIE fighter comes in behind her and blasts her, and it's going to blast her on the platform. That doesn't happen in the movie. There's also a few other little snippets in there. And sort of like in Finding Dory, the two wolves were the couple. In this one, there's a couple that are actually two dudes. There's a blind ninja man who's a guard, and a big chunky bear-like Samoan dude that is a guard. And they're guarding the Jedi Temple. But they suggest in the story that they're majorly best friends, let's say. Yes, because it's 2016. Because that's awesome. Because, yeah. So all those Star Wars guys out there that were hyper-conservative and said, no, there's no sausage party going on in Star Wars. Like, yes, there is. It totally is. Because, yeah, it's 2016. No. Actually, 3PO and R2-D2 were technically the first couple in Star Wars. Oh, my. But they were robots, so it was okay. Yes, so... But yes. Oh my. So, okay, let's see what else we have. So, we've got Jen Arso and Carician Andor? Weird names. What's that? The guy on the planet. I'm not going to name all the names. They're all very forgettable. And don't get attached to them. They all die. So go out and get the action figures. And then, yeah. But, it's a war movie. It's basically a World War II Storm the Beach movie. People were comparing it to Saving Private Ryan because it's on a beach and the storming of Normandy and that kind of thing. Not really. If the storming on the beach had, AT-AT walkers, or a version of AT-AT walkers, I should say. Not quite AT-AT walkers. And it had, fighter ships and stuff flying around. I don't think the storming of the beach of Normandy had laser guns, blasters, and a radio tower they had to take out. And some of them were complaining about, the technology and the stuff, and that tower being the hard drive thing, and they had to take it to the disc to the other guy. I was perfectly okay with that, having it be retro and having them do that. as somebody that was about 7 when the original came out, which I did not see in the theaters. I saw it on video. Star Wars Episode 4, yeah, and then I saw Jedi. Actually, I saw Empire first, which is weird. I didn't know what was going on, but I inadvertently spoiled the movie as a 10-year-old because 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 I was loud and I was 10, and I kept like at least once or twice I remember saying like in the theater like he's Darth Father because like Darth Vader is father, so he's Darth Father. It's German. It's funny that these names are like very I didn't know whose father though. Found that it was Luke's father. Like I didn't even get that in the movie when I was 10. I was like, what? How's that even like, huh? Does that even work? And then Leia's the sister, but only later on. Yeah, considering he makes out with her in part 2. Damn. Like, damn. But yeah, I'm not talking about the Star Wars. I'm talking about the prequels. Return of the Jedi was the first one that my parents let me see by myself. I was 12 or 13 at that when that one came out. But yeah, in a mall in Minnesota. So that's where I saw that one. Not the Great Mall of Minnesota. That one built yet. It was somewhere else. But the Rogue One, yes, more Rogue One giving away stuff. Oh yeah, there's a few references to Rogue One having there's some of the game stuff in there. It's not supposed to be canon with any of the expanded universe, although they threw some tidbits in there, some Jedi Order stuff in there. The samurai dude and the blind samurai dude and the other guy, the older guy, clearly a nod to anime, clearly a nod to that kind of universe. Yeah, so that's in there. That's in the games, Jedi Order and whatnot. Indirectly, they just threw it in there and gave him a different name. Jyn Erso is not related to Princess Leia, and not related to what's her name on the planet. She's not related to what's her name. To Rey, not related. Everybody thought she's gonna. Nope, that was no relation. She dies. How could she have had a kid? So yeah, and Grand Moff Tarkin was CGI in this one because the actor died. So there's some spoilers. This review is all spoilers and stuff like that. There's a H-wing fighter that's new. You can sell toys. The smaller action figures that are like $9, I bought some, and they don't have bendable legs, but the merger with Hasbro ones, they might. I'll have to check that out. But that would be something that I suggested years ago for Lucasfilm to do. It's cool that they're doing it. It's awesome. I did suggest that to a Lucasfilm employee, and he suggested it to them. But you have to, in order to get the bendable legs and arms, you have to do a deal with Hasbro and G.I. Joe. It's too bad that suggestion was not paid. Yeah, didn't get paid for it. But that's for the more expensive figures, the $14.99 ones. But yeah, so they bend. So yeah, but they should. They have they've had that technology since the '80s to make fully posable, at least for the knee joints and the elbows, for a G.I. Joe type action figure. Cool. Anyway, so the figures are out. Yeah, just want to get. So in the end, there's. I could spoil more of it. They die. They die heroically, and then the Bothans die in the other one. I don't know what the Bothans are. Are they those bug things, I guess, or something? Frog people? Hey. Anyway, so yeah, this is a Rogue One review, and I'm giving away stuff. But yeah, Rogue One, the War Story. To see it again, but what else was there? There was some more about the premise, overall story arc, the characters, their they're not exactly, you know, they're not exactly as charismatic as the ones from episode 7. Partly because they wanted to make the ones in episode 7 more charismatic, considering they're going to make more of them. The actors that can do it better. It's not that the script needed... I guess it did need a little polishing, but yeah, it would have been silly to have the "We Rebel" line in there. That wouldn't work. Also, the TIE Fighter thing at the end, I'm assuming there's a completely different ending. And also, there was some confusion as to what blew up on the planet. Okay, the planet at the end is not Alderaan. The planet at the end is the other planet before Alderaan. Anyway, so... Yes, Rogue One. I haven't got much more on that other than just spoils the rest of it. There. We'll see it in the theaters. It's a war movie with Star Wars. It's some people are saying it's a very good fan film, the best fan film Star Wars ever done. It should have been one of the prequels. Actually, they should have had this be Episode 3 or the third one, and had Episode 3 be 2, and ignored the other one. Not sure if they're gonna do that with the young Han Solo one. It's not as exciting to have a Han Solo one. Of course, all the fanboys want a Boba Fett one, but we already had that. It was called Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. We had a Boba Fett one. There's your Boba Fett one. It wasn't very good. It was just kind of silly, especially the part where he's gonna rescue his mother and he doesn't, and then he says that he went out and killed. Anakin go out and killed all the sand people, and then Padme just goes, "Oh, you poor man." It's like she did something psychotic and went and killed all the sand people. No, you poor man. Let's make out. Yeah, I was talking about how we've already done a Boba Fett movie. Or they have. But yeah. So yeah, it's a glorified fan film. Is it really the best movie ever of the year? Probably not. So, yeah. Maybe not. The main characters actually get killed, and that's the end of the movie. And Rogue One is sort of a... I don't know if it's really canon with Rebels, but it sort of implies it. I haven't seen much of Rebels, but... Yeah, that wasn't Alderaan at the end. That was the other planet that was in between that they were heading toward and then away from. And they turned the Death Star upside down to fire on the planet. And they only fired on the base and blew up the transmitter. And that wasn't where Alderaan gets blown up. That's later. Because he hasn't captured Leia and forced her to do anything. Because she's on the blockade runner. So yeah, she's not... They don't capture her until later in New Hope. So it's not Alderaan. That's some other planet. Yeah, so... Yeah, and Jeddah is not really... There's just a Jedi temple there. I don't think it's supposed to be the Jedi homeworld. That'd be lame if the planet was called Jeddah Jedi. And that's probably not what's going on. And the names aren't nearly as memorable as the other ones. Except for Cassian Andor, whose name sounds like an advertisement for the Andorians in Star Trek. And the Cardassians. And maybe Casio keyboards, which is back there. But yes, so Jyn Erso. That's not really... But yeah, that's the girl. And something else Erso. Yeah, since when are they using last names for them? Kind of odd. Yeah, they just... the Erso, the other Erso. And having them sort of retcon it that the guy was explaining that he made a flaw in the Death Star, you would think that the Empire would be smart enough to go through the plans, knowing the plans have been stolen, and gone, okay, this engineer guy must have messed with the Death Star. Everything that he did, let's check it. And make sure he didn't put some kind of bomb in there or something. Or some kind of trap. You think they would check all of that out, even though that other guy got killed. The other guy gets killed. And they wouldn't want to make sure that, there's nothing there that they could use. Even Vader following him knows it's there. The only thing I can figure is Vader knew there was a hole in it and left it there, because secretly he wanted the Death Star to blow up. Like, to just show them how inept and incompetent that one guy that was running it was, until the Grand Moff took over. Of course, like, that makes Vader even more psychotic and messed up. Of course, this is the guy that killed the Sand People. So, yeah, and the younglings from Part 3. And, yeah, ooh, he's a badass fighter at the end with the sword and everything. Yeah. Yeah, the people are freaking out over CGI Leia and CGI Tarkin. But they weren't that bad. I mean, clearly they would have had to be, but at least, yeah. It wasn't that bad. It probably does look worse in 3D, as some of the fans pointed out. Probably the 3D one really, really sticks out. Like, oh, Uncanny Valley man. And is it that Snoke is Tarkin? Because I think Tarkin dies. It's Death Star. That'd be weird. Maybe he's supposed to be. That's not... No connection. That's not what they're doing. So, yeah, this movie's not connected to Episode 7. Unless somehow the rogue guy with the beard, goatee, it's his kid. But they didn't say that, so it's not canon. It wouldn't be anyway, because he's, younger at that point, so. Quite a bit younger. The Battle of Jakku is different from the Battle of Jeddah. I know the names sound similar, but no, different planet. Jakku is where the Battle of Jakku happened in the canon books after Jedi, referencing the Zahn books, interestingly enough, without actually referencing them. Not without paying him homage. In other words, without paying him. Yeah. But yes, and New World Order, New Jedi Order, and all those other books that mentioned stuff like that. Anyway, so there is your review of spoilery sort of rundown of Rogue One, which is not connected to anything. Spoilery review of Rogue One, which isn't connected to anything, and